I now request Mr. Soumitra Chakrabarti, Chief Executive of Innovative Financial Advisor, to give his brief address. We are constrained for time before I request the Honorable Shri Subhash Desai to deliver his address after this brief.
Very good evening to all of you. I'll try and keep it as brief as possible. Most of my agenda was already consumed in the afternoon. That was there. So primarily, with absolute humility, I feel honored today standing in front of you, and especially in the evening when I feel that it's a celebration of its own nature. So to start with the permission from the dais, every good speech, every good dialect that a person comes to impress upon starts with a bit of humor. I do not have a joke to share today, because from the point that I see, corporations are going transformational change today. There is a great debate about being responsible along with being profitable, marginable. The word responsible is now attaching slowly onto it. I see that trend becoming a pattern of culture in this part of the world. But I don't have a joke, because as I speak to you, 40% of our countrymen are still going hungry every single day. I don't have a joke because as we are speaking, the energy requirement of the world is doubling up and the resources are getting halved. I don't have a joke because by 2020, 65% of our population will be below 35 years of age, and out of that, 73% of the population will not have jobs. I don't have a joke. It's a serious issue, ladies and gentlemen. Corporate social responsibility is not only a matter of to be discussed about, it has to be deliberated, it has to be embedded within the functioning of every single organization in the cultural diaspora of this country. We have inherited a lot of cultural adaptations from the West. CSR is a sort of culture that we are culminating from there. We know by the terms corporate citizenship in the Europe, corporate responsibility in the US, more or less because these economies have went on to understand that you cannot alienate the responsibility of a corporation from the impact that it puts through its resources and its functionality, its operations to the society. We are an emerging market and we tend to always concentrate on the GDP. So we are always worried about this 5%, 6%, 4%. Let me tell you very clearly. It might make a bit of capital and an economic sense to realize that we have grown at 5% or 4%, but I really don't understand the dimensions of growth and prosperity when out of every 10 people in our family, 4 people are still going hungry at the night. What kind of a growth are we talking about? What kind of a GDP-centric mechanism are we talking about? In this kind of an environment where there is so much of dialogue and so much of confusion, I see corporate social responsibility as that light at the end of the tunnel, where we get off our economic greeds and look at the people who really need our help and assistance, who are suffering because of the corporations who have benefited long enough from the resources that they have utilized on the ground. This brings us to the question of sustainability. The Indian economic diaspora, along with the governance structure, has sooner or later started to understand that we cannot afford to orphan the society and to look only at profits as mere growth. There is a clear distinction between what you understand between growth and prosperity. Growth in economic terms has been defined in people, planet, and economics, because profit no longer exists in its own nature. It is economics, and economics is wholesome, taking the society as such. So if you look at the disparity between growth and prosperity, we always tend to believe that prosperity is if the company is becoming more profitable. Yes, we do have to become more profitable. The business case of sustainability has to survive, or else we will not be able to survive and cater to the social responsibilities that we need. One of the primary responsibilities of the business, through the old school thought we realize, is to derive profits, is to do business. Yes, it is right. But we cannot ignore the impact that we are having on the society, on the environment where we are operating upon. The greatest confusion that comes across is between two schools of thought. One school of thought believes which is usually trained in the business schools, where a lot of MBAs have been taught, is that the sole priority of a business is to do business. Whereas the other school, which is now the corporate social responsibility school, which was started as earlier as Henry Ford, said that businesses have this inherent tendency to work in a constrained environment and towards a discrete objective. Hence, it is businesses which can derive and assist governance in giving the best possible socially responsible results. This dichotomy has to come to an end. The difference between growth and prosperity has to end. And you, the winners of today's Golden Peacock on the Corporate Social Responsibility Night, have shown that you can. I'm sure the others who are sitting away from the 2 rows where the winners are sitting are also waiting to be here the next year. And I'm sure next year we'll have 20 winners instead of 14, and we'll grow in manifolds. So ladies and gentlemen, I do not want to create an idea of negativism. Well, the only thing is that I want to congratulate every single institution and individual who is sitting here today as a winner, because you have shown the way. And I accept with complete humility that as a student I am ready to follow your suit. And I believe and I expect that every member in this hall would go back trying to emulate at least 10% of what these institutions have stood for 1 long year to achieve this award. And my heartiest congratulations to Institute of Directors for organizing this dialogue, where at least people are getting a platform to come and discuss about it and bringing it on the center line of the agenda. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to all of you and congratulations to the winners. Thank you very much.